Hey guys, so I'm going to jump right in because this is going to be a very quick and simple tutorial. First things first, you need to measure your head from the front of your hairline to the nape of your hairline, front to back. It's typically about 13 inches. It may be larger for some people. And so with that being said, you want to place your cap 13 inches front to back. And then I like to place my frontals 1 inch in front of the wig cap, and my closures half of an inch in front of the wig cap. And after that, you want to make sure the back of the closure or the frontal is lying flat. Pay less attention to the front, all attention to the back. You want that to lie flat. And once you get it pinned into place, you want to start at the middle of the back and hand sew down all the way around from the middle to the side front. You don't want to start over from the front, wrap all the way around and go to the front again, because you might have some bumps or some lumps that come into play. So this is just a way to ensure 100% flatness, and yeah, it makes your life a lot simpler. Once you get to the end of one side of your closure, you want to make sure that you knot it. I knot mine maybe about 3 times, just the basic knot, that's all. Then you're gonna go in here with the measuring tape or with your thumb, and you're gonna mark every inch. If you're gonna do double wefts, it's every inch. This is how I put my wefts together to make them double wefts. I put one on top of each other, but they're still underneath each other. So yeah, it keeps it from being bulky.
So you want to make sure you have enough thread, and a thread that works with your sewing machine, not a really thick weaving thread, because it probably won't get through the needle. And so I use this big one when I'm making my wigs. And you just thread it how you would normally thread your sewing machine. You can also use the ones, the serger thread from Walmart or Joann's or wherever. So yeah. And I have my tension on about 5.5, and I have it on a zigzag stitch with a length of 2.5 and a stitch width of 7 millimeters. And I'm probably gonna bring that down to about 6 millimeters, just because I use that to connect. So here's one of my bundles. As you can see, there's a different color on the back. That's how I know the difference from what side goes up and what side goes down on my wig cap. But you basically just take 2 ends of it. So it's one hole, well, it's in half, and you put one track on top of the other, or right under the other. You see? Nothing's overlapping. And you run it through. You run it through on a zigzag stitch. And it'll make it joined, so it doesn't separate. And I do that to 2 of my bundles, and then the last bundle, I do a single weft on the wig cap. So here are the 2 bundles that are already connected. This one and this one. And then this is the one that I haven't sewn together yet. And this hair is from, can you see it? Bougie Sisters. And it says a length 24, but I measured it and it came out to be like a 26. And this is their Endo Wave. And I got a 20-inch 5x5 closure that I hand sewed down. And then I cut out the middle. Well, I cut out the cap that was covering the lace. It's going to make it easier to sew it. And when you cut it out, make sure that you don't cut your stitches, or else you'll have.
So now we're going to get into the actual sewing of the wig, and It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. You just place the track over the lines and you use a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine to run it through. You want to make sure that you back stitch on the beginning and the end of the track. And if you're using a cap like mine that has the elastic bands, you want to make sure that you keep those out of the way. But if you're using one of the spandex dome caps, you can just run it straight through. Also, when you're sewing this on your machine, be sure not to stretch your cap because that will result in your wig having ripples and it's very unflattering and it'll look really bad and it'll feel very funny. So just let the cap run through and move the hair around to go with the cap. This is what it should look like once you've sewn the track. This is what the outside and the inside should look like. It should just be straight, and the inside you should see the stitches, but the outside you shouldn't. Make sure you use a black thread if you're using black hair and a blonde thread if you're using blonde hair or whatever. Now, this is after I've sewn on all of the double wefted bundles. If you double wefted all of your bundles, then that's fine. You can keep going. But I'm going to single weft mine now. And so instead of doing them every inch, I'll do them every half inch. I'll sew them every half inch, one by one. So that'll make it more full. I won't have any spaces or anything like that. And it won't be bulky. Once you finish sewing it, your wig should look like this and you're all done. Thanks for watching.